There it is. And we're live. How do you want to start this?
I don't know. Not by getting hit by another car.
Pay attention to the road.
Or hitting a deer.
Yeah. Last night we almost hit a deer. I have the dash cam, so maybe I have that footage still. We've almost hit a deer twice. We live in one of those areas.
Well, the last time I said, deer.
And I was like, what?
You're like, what?
I thought she was talking
like,
to me.
no, there's a deer in the road.
Right now we're on the way, doing a little road trip on our way to a friend's wedding. So we got like a 4-hour drive, but this podcast is not going to be 4 hours long. I'm only going the length of this battery. I really wanted to start a podcast just to talk. We have such good talks on road trips. I figured why not record it? Mm-hmm. And with some Mickey D's, we got a little mukbang in there too. Do you want to talk about when we moved in together and how weird that was?
We can.
So I thought it was going to be awesome. I'm like, okay, let me set the stage. I was living with a roommate like 40 minutes away, just in an apartment building. She had her own townhouse, and so she invited me to come live with her. And this is before we got engaged, so we were just boyfriend and girlfriend. And I thought I would just move in, bring all my stuff over, and we'd have like, it would be like our play dates, but every night. And I could sleep over but there's some relationship stuff. You really need to like learn the other person. I didn't know what that meant. I thought like you'd be sharing the same sink to brush your teeth, and that was like the biggest hurdle. But we had to like work through some
I think
stuff.
the biggest thing is just the situation.
Can I get my sandwich?
Well, I'm holding ketchup in this.
Okay, I'll reach in. What about the situation?
It depends on the situation. Like, I was already settled in my place, and you were moving into it with your things, which made it a lot more difficult than if it was a separate new place.
That's true. We had like a lot of stuff, and we had to get rid of some stuff.
And we also had a lot of stuff from our college days of college apartments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stuff that we had when we were basically kids. Like, we kind of had to grow into like an adult aesthetic.
And my parents kept dumping everything on me. Like, anything that I ever owned.
That was weird.
Like month that I moved out, they would like deliver
because you have a full
boxes of like my artwork from kindergarten and my graduation gown. Like, they didn't want any aspect of my stuff.
Well, we have a full basement,
house.
So there's room to like bring a lot of stuff. And I think your parents were trying to downsize a little too. So they're like, here, take a huge dresser that's like 50 years old.
Broken.
You might need it someday.
Yeah.
It's like, you can only take so much stuff. Like, it's better to grow slowly, and also to realize just like what you have. You can't have like more stuff than what you actually use. If you don't touch something within the year, you probably don't need it.
Unless you're a teacher.
Oh, because you can bring stuff to your classroom?
There's just some random things that you end up needing, like toilet paper rolls or paper plates.
It took a little while just for you to realize, like, I live here too. Like, I think you were hesitant to me bringing Titus, or to my turtle, and me putting like hooks in the walls to hang my stuff. I basically took over one of the bedrooms. You refer to that as my office now.
Yeah. Well, you do work from home too, so you need a space to do that.
one of the things I think we do really well, what we do really well now, that we didn't really do when I first moved in, is like, we're really good at like respecting each other's space and time. So like in the office, I have like my video games and stuff too, and you use the main room for your TV, and we don't really get jealous when like you want to, or I don't know what the right word is, but when you want to watch TV and I want to play video games, we can have like separate time at home where we're not even talking to each other. We're just kind of like having our own thing. I think that's actually good. We spend enough time together. Like whenever we're itching for like a date or something, we just go out on a date.
I think sometimes too, after work and stuff, you just need that time to yourself to kind of decompress and not have to talk to anyone, not have to do anything, just kind of have that time to yourself. Something I needed, and I guess a relationship is all about like communicating your needs. So I think that's a skill like we gained. But something I needed was like the greeting. I needed at least like say goodbye and say hello when you come in. And like I was frustrated a couple times when I would wake up and I'd be gone.
You'd be gone. I'm like, where's my girlfriend? Where's my fiance? Where's my wife? Like, where is she? But now, in the morning, so when I work from home, I wake up just like slightly later than when she wakes up.
Not slightly. You're still in your pajamas by the time I get home from work.
Well, if I'm working from home, I don't need to even take off my pajamas. What time do you leave in the morning? Like 6:30?
6:45.
Okay.
7 at the latest.
I'm usually online at work by 7:30 or 8. Most times.
I'm already almost done with my first class by that time.
But I really like that you come back, like, so you get ready in the morning and then you come back into the bedroom and like you give me a kiss before leaving. I really like that.
Yeah, I only do that for you.
Well, I should hope so. You don't go to
not other people. That's not what I meant.
You don't kiss Titus goodbye.
Like if you didn't care, I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Because I'm in my like morning mode, like getting ready, getting my stuff together, making sure I don't forget anything.
If I'm up,
trying not to hit my foot against the corner of the bed and putting my socks on. Whenever
I'm up at like as early as you, there are some times I do get up that early, and I'll make sure that we have like a full loving embrace hug before you leave. I think that's important. Not for every couple, but for us, I think
I wish we could have more of like a breakfast together, but I don't think it really works with our schedule. Like I wouldn't make you get up that early. I wouldn't want to get up that much earlier. Usually I have a breakfast on the go.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good thing that we live so close to where you work.
Yeah.
I hear that the commute can be like a big contention in a relationship and something that causes divorce. Like
did you get a hot cake or was one? Did you get me too? Oh.
Well, I just ordered hotcakes.
Oh,
maybe she knew. I don't know.
I want my hot cake.
I have my cappuccino too. The only coffee I ever get at McDonald's is their cappuccino. I don't really like their iced coffee. I don't really like their
frappes.
Their frappes are okay. They're so sweet. I'm at that age that sweetness isn't as big of a deal. Yeah, we work so well right now. I'm so proud of us. We're not even a year in, so we've been
not even 6 months.
I mean, we've been together a long time. Like, so we started dating in 2009, so it's been 10 years, and we were living together for over a year, and then we got married, and now it's 6 months after that. So fresh marriage, but our relationship has been going steady for a long time.
Yeah.
We should name the podcast that. I'm kidding. That wasn't my idea.
That was Colleen's idea. Shout out to Colleen. That's our couple name. They're always like, "What's Steady doing?" Steph and Teddy.
It works.
want to make a mess.
By the way, so it's like cold outside.
And it snowed yesterday.
And I don't want to turn the air on because that would be obnoxious to the audio. So I might like flutter it, like turn it on for a few minutes and then turn it off. So if the audio is weird, that's why. I want to ask about, is it weird if I want to like bring up our parents and what their take on our relationship was like? Because your parents' perspective and my parents' perspective were so different.
I don't think they would care.
I'll start because my parents, their whole view on our relationship changed drastically. Like, I'm an only child, and they were really hesitant to me having any girlfriend. Like, I don't think it was you. I think it's any person I brought home would be, like, scrutinized. And it took them a while.
I was stealing you away.
Yeah. Which I like. I like that you kind of stole me away. You really helped me grow to be an adult.
Yeah.
I truly was a kid when we started dating. I feel like your parents were just like, she's really smart, she'll make the right decisions. They were like confident that you could pick the right person.
Yeah, I think
we both
really
met at the same church, so it was like there wasn't any question. Neither of us are like a bad boy or bad girl.
criminal.
Not at the time.
Well, I think too, my mom was involved in like the youth group and stuff, and so she knew who you were. She actually wanted me to date you, and I said no.
Yep.
I think part of it was I didn't want to date someone that my mom wanted me to date, so that could have been part of the reason why I said
really?
no in the beginning.
Actively
Because she said, "Oh, he's a nice boy. You should date him," or something along those lines. I was like, my angsty teenage self, like, no, I'm not gonna do what you say. But they've gone in waves too. Like, it took them some time to get to know you, and you went on some of our family trips and spent time with my brother.
I think when I moved out, that was the, I moved out with a roommate, and my parents were kind of like, is this gonna work out, him moving out? I think my parents they'd be happy me living at home forever.
Yep.
So I could be home, take care of them, teach them the new technology, and do some house chores. They'd love that. But I needed to leave the nest. I think it was really good, us living separately.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you learned how to be independent, and I learned how to, some things as well. It was wild when I moved in and, I realized how clean you were, and that I needed to do, a weekly...
Yeah, I don't know. You had so many chores growing up.
I needed to schedule it,
You had lists of chores, and I would come over to hang out, and you'd have a list of chores to do. And then you move in with me, and I expect, you know how to do all these chores because you had this list of chores you always had to do. And I'm like, what the heck? He doesn't know how to clean anything. I have to teach you how to wipe the counter down, how to clean the bathroom. Don't just wipe the counter off, clean the toilet, clean the mirror. The basic things that, my family's German. My mom is very into keeping everything clean. So that's something I just thought that everyone knew how to do, but apparently not.
Well, I was in the mood of we'll do this when people come over, and you're like, no, we should clean so that the house is clean for us.
I think it's good for your morale.
Sense.
You don't want to come home to a dumpy place.
It does completely
trash your place.
Yeah, it changes your mood. When you come home and the place is clean and you can just sit and I agree.
Appreciate that you were willing to learn. That was like the biggest thing, because I think if you just didn't care, it wouldn't have gone well. You're at least willing for me to show you how to do things the way I wanted it.
Well, I always, whenever
or
I
to
saw
split
like,
up the work, because it's a lot of work for one person to clean everything.
When I ever saw like relationship movies, like rom-coms, the centralized theme was always like a give and take. It was always like sacrifice, and which I'm not. This isn't a sacrifice, but like just the give and take. And I think it's important to, when something is important to someone else, like you have to realize that, and you have a certain standard, and it didn't bother me that much. I was like, oh, these are easy brownie points. That's how I saw it. So it's like, why not do this to make you happy?
And my love language too is acts of service. Don't tell me how great I am. Show me by doing things that help me. Like clean the house, take out the garbage.
Mm-hmm. When did you realize your love language? Was it recently, or have you known for a while?
I would say once I have been on my own and like in my adult life and career, I think that's when I noticed more, because I realized how much work everything is and how nice it is for someone else to help you out.
Yeah.
Like even when my parents would come over and like do a few dishes for me, like
you'd realize that and realize how much you appreciate it.
Or I just love going over to their house for any meal. That means I don't have to cook lunch or dinner for myself. It's like, I don't need a gift. I rather have help with things that I need.
So you receive love by the things that make your life easier,
yes,
or more convenient.
Definitely. Like Kate and I will, my coworker, we'll get each other coffee every once in a while, and it's just like
that's
that
nice.
extra bit of like convenience and like getting your day on the right track when you've had a rough day. And it's not like, how much do I owe you, how much is this, how much is that. It's just like I got you this time, you get me next time.
Yeah. I think in the beginning though, it took me a while to realize so you mentioned in the beginning, like, oh, I like the little things. I love when you do the little things for me. And I didn't know, not what that meant, but I didn't know what those little things were or how little they could be.
Mm-hmm.
So things like packing up your lunch.
Oh, that's the best.
And it doesn't even need to be like you actually appreciate just having it ready to go.
Yeah.
So, I had to learn like what all of those were. I think there's a couple times where you expected me to do stuff too, that I was like, what do I do for this?
Yeah.
Guys are not mind readers, and I think
girls, they try and show us in movies and such that like, oh, the guy like knows your favorite everything and does all these surprises for you. Yeah. And it's not realistic. But it's like, if I tell you my favorite ice cream flavor 50 million times and you still don't know it,
I now write down everything.
Then I'm going to be pissed off.
I hope you don't mind that I don't have everything exactly memorized, that I write it down.
At least you're trying.
I have a spreadsheet.
Like, I mean, your Chipotle order saved on my phone, so it's not like I'm memorizing it, but...
Well, and I think you still need to be, not you, I mean, guys need to be receptive to what you say to.
Yeah.
Like, if you tell us stuff, we need to listen and like remember it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, like, it's really good hints. It's like in a video game when there's like a message that pops up that's like a hint.
Nowadays,
and most people just ignore it, but in the end, like, it helps you out a lot.
Nowadays too, it's like we post almost everything on social media. It's like Facebook, it's Pinterest, like almost any girl has a Pinterest board of like their dream wedding, their dream engagement, clothes, jewelry, design stuff, houses. So it's like, if you're really that lost and don't know what direction to go to Pinterest. It's like the key to a woman's heart.
Yeah.
And mind.
Well, and that's the whole part of the relationship is learning the other person.
Mm-hmm.
I think when people break up over like not being cared for, or like they didn't put enough effort in, like that's what it is. It's like effort into understanding how the other person operates, what their likes and dislikes are. There's like topical stuff that you should always know, and then as you get farther in the relationship, you drill down deeper and deeper into what motivates them, like the deeper stuff.
And things change too. Like even with my parents, there's like certain foods that I've never liked, and they'll like ask me if I want them. Or there's things that in my adult life I've grown to like, and they're like, you never liked that. So it's like, not being around that person, it's a lot harder to figure out their likes and dislikes.
Yeah, I really like that since we've moved in together, we've gotten closer. Like we're slowly like turning into each other.
Yeah, you've gotten me into a lot more spicier foods, even though I have an issue with peppers. Like we do HelloFresh, and so some of the meals are like tacos and have different types of peppers, and one of them I was cutting up, and I must not have thoroughly washed my hands enough, and I touched my nose, and all of a sudden it was like burning and on fire. And I was like, what do I do? Like, what do I do to my nose?
I'm like used to peppers and like working, like it doesn't bother me that much. Like I try to ignore like the burn.
I think my skin's sensitive too, so that probably didn't help.
She literally put her face like in a bowl of milk.
Well, I had to look up something to do. Like, I'm not gonna just sit
My
there.
first thought was
I was like
shower
crying.
or something.
I didn't know what to do.
The capsaicin, like the oil, you can't just wash away with water.
Well, and water doesn't help. Like when my brother was younger, he ate a jalapeno and his mouth was on fire, and he denied it. He denied it through his teeth that he even though there was a bite out of it. And you need bread, you need water, or not water, milk, to kind of take the heat away. So I was looking stuff up through my tears, and it said to put your face in a bowl of milk, so that's what I did. And it did help a lot.
Yeah, I guess if it ended up working.
So now I make you cut the spicy peppers. That's your job.
I'll happily cut the peppers for you.
But even, like, I was really hesitant to even have anything probably more than mild. And I realized that, like, when you're cooking and you don't even put the seeds of the jalapeno in, it's not going to be as spicy. Like, you can control, especially when you're cooking it yourself, you can control the level of the heat and spice.
Well, and, like, I'm not trying to manipulate you into being, like, into super hot foods, but I don't want to have to
I'm not going to put hot sauce on everything, but...
Right. I don't want to have to make two separate meals, one that's spicy, one that's not. So I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, slowly introducing something. Like, you start out with, like, Cholula on your eggs, and then, you know, we put jalapenos and stuff, and so, like, I start to clean more, she starts to eat hot foods more. And it's very like small and iterative. I think like you just don't force someone into doing something. You kind of slowly learn each other, and it's like
we're gonna drive by our wedding venue.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. It's right over here, right?
Yeah. It's covered in snow.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, that's yeah, it's about what's like important to the other person, and like how much do you really love the other person. If you love the other person, you'll try to share in their happiness, because when you share in something that makes like the love that much more wholesome and fulfilling, more lasting. You feel love is about feeling like the underlying connection, despite like what mood you might be in or what happened that day, like having that shared life.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was really great. Should we just end it there? It was like a great first. I don't know. Do you want to talk about more stuff, or are you?
I don't know.
Okay. Epilogue starts now.
Bloopers.
we could talk about what our future. Are we going to do this again? Do you like doing this?
Yeah, we
So,
can.
I started out vlogging like 2 years ago, and there have definitely been times where it's gotten in the way of our relationship because I want to like take out the camera or capture a memory, and Steph just doesn't want to participate. Like, I'll need her for something. I'll need her like hold the camera or something. She really didn't want to participate in the beginning, and now I'm a lot better about like.
Well, sometimes it was just
knowing
the
the time
worst and least
It was bad
convenient
timing.
time. Like one time it was before work, and you wanted me to go in and out of the door like 5 times.
I needed that shot.
And I was like, I need to go to work. I don't want to be recorded. And the repetitiveness of it would annoy me.
Sometimes
like,
you need to do
go
multiple
in and
takes.
out of the car again for this shot. I'm like, it wasn't good enough the first time. It wasn't real enough the first time.
Yeah, it's not everyone can be Casey Neistat right off the bat. I think that, like, if you're a media creator, to put out good content, you need to like focus on the craft itself.
Whoa.
It's not just, you're never gonna perfect your art. It's about like iteratively like getting better each time, and I just needed a lot of practice and knowing where those life boundaries are. When something, what's a, I don't want to burden you, I don't want to, but I still, like, this is fun for me, like, creating stuff for the internet.
Well, I don't think you have as much of a filter as I do either. Like, there's certain aspects of my life that I don't care to share.
I think this is a really good medium because we can edit whatever we want to. I'm probably not going to cut this at all, but we could if we like accidentally said something we didn't want to say, or it's also like much more casual.
Orchard.
Oh yeah.
Order holiday pies. Yeah, I thought that all podcasts were only audio, so that part intrigued me because I was like, oh, it doesn't matter what I look like. I could be in my pajamas or whatever, making stupid faces, and no one would see.
Some people watch and some people don't. A lot of podcasts are on multiple platforms. It's like this is going to go on YouTube, but if I put it on a platform that doesn't have video, then it's just the words. Yeah, I just like spending time with you and giving the internet a glimpse into our happy relationship is. It's fun.
I think it's nice too to be more real because I feel like people think that we're so like perfect from the outside, but really no one's that perfect.
Mm-hmm. I would so much rather do this than like post just a fake picture of us being happy. We will get into it if we want to. We should do a podcast where it's just all of our fights, the fights that we went through. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that next time, or sometime down the line. If you want us to do a second podcast,
About our fights,
or anything, if you have like ideas or questions, if this gets 1 like, we'll do an episode 2. How do you want to sign off? Do you want to end it? You want to end it?
I don't know.
Okay, well, thanks for watching / listening. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.